Welcome to the Priority Zero podcast. Stories of service.
Welcome to the Priority Zero podcast. My name's Oresti, and today with us we have Manny Santos. Manny was a United States Marine for over 9 years, serving in both active and reserves. Manny, welcome to the podcast, mate.
Thank you for having me, Oresti.
Man, I'm excited to get on and share your story. It's been a while since we've seen each other. It's been quite a few years since I met you in Darwin. How many years ago was that? That was
oh man, that was almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years, yeah. I think I met you after the year after I met DiMartino, who was also on the podcast.
Yeah, you were mentioning that he was the first rotation. I was the second.
Yeah. So yes, I'm very excited to get your story out there. So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm first generation American. Both of my parents, they came from different countries down south. So they came here illegally, and then the reason they left was my grandpa. He was in the Salvadorian Civil War they had going on. I'm sure some people know about it. It was pretty big. But he was in the military there. My grandma's brother got executed, hung, by their house. And then after that, they were targeting him. And they sent an ear to his house from another family member. So they had to leave because they were being persecuted because he was in the military. So they left. After that, came over here. My parents had me. I grew up in a very poor neighborhood. There was a lot of immigrants. And then after that, went to school, had fun. I like school. And then after that, I became a police explorer. So it's like a volunteer for the cops.
Yeah.
So I got to work with the cops. And that's when I first started getting involved in paramilitary stuff.
Nice.
And then I used to travel a lot. I used to box amateur. So I used to travel a lot and I used to do that. And then after that, I hit 18. I had a very rocky relationship with my stepdad. Long story short, he kicked me out at 18, so I had to survive for 6 months on my own, and I was about to be homeless. I didn't know where to go because I know I had to go to school, and I know I was working. I had no other choice but to join the military because I was thinking of, what outlet could I use to, help myself because I'm already, in a predicament because I'm already kicked out and I'm 18, so I really am not on my feet. So then I knew nothing about the military. I was deciding, okay, I'm going to join the Army because that's what everybody seems to do. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to join the Army. So then I go to the recruiting office, and my mom's like, oh, no, you shouldn't join that. You should join this. And I was like, why? And she's like, because they have really nice uniforms. Look at the poster, like a advertisement. And I was like,
the
what?
Marine Corps posters, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, they have really nice uniforms. Why don't you go in there first? And I'm like, okay, sure. I thought it was the same thing, like the Marine Corps and the Army, the Navy. I thought it was all the same. And I go in there, and then I take the ASVAB, the practice ASVAB, and I score low, and they're downsizing. So the guy, he's like, you know what, you're not going to make the cut. You have to come back in a month to test again. And then I told him, I was like, I can't come back in a month. I only have this much time. I'm about to be homeless, so I have to leave right now. And he's like, wait a minute, let me talk to my boss. So he goes talk to his boss, and then his boss comes out. He's like, hey, come in here for a minute. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? So you scored low, but I think you got what it takes to be a Marine. I was like, how so? I was like, I'm just trying to leave, bro. I told him, I was like, I'm just trying to leave, man. I can't afford to be waiting around. I know there's people that want to wait around to be a Marine, but it's just no, I'll go to the Army. It doesn't matter. And he's like, yeah, I think you're going to fit perfectly here. I'm like, okay. So then I do the whole depth thing, and I'm there for 3 weeks, and then I get shipped out the 4th week. And all the other police that have been waiting a year or 6 months, a long time, they're like, what the hell? Why is he getting shipped out? He just got here. We've been waiting for a long time. I'm like, bro, I never even cared to be a Marine at all. I just want to leave. And they were all butthurt. What's that?
So you're just looking for a way out, sort of thing.
Yeah, I was desperate. Yeah, I was desperate. So it was just sink or swim. So it was just yeah, I'm trying to leave. So they guaranteed it. So I left at the 4th week. And then after that, at this point, I know nothing about the American military because, like I said, my grandpa served, but it's a different country. So it's way different.
So what did your grandpa do?
He was an infantryman too.
Infantryman too. In
El
Salvador, is that right?
Yeah, in the Civil War, because they were fighting over something with the government. He doesn't like to talk about it, but he got shot 6 times. You can still see the holes where he got shot. Yeah, so he doesn't like to talk about it though. Yeah, so that's why they left, literally, because if they did not leave, they would have been killed, all of them. So I wouldn't be here.
Far out. So what MOS did you end up signing up for?
Well, 311 infantry.
Yep.
It's crazy, bro, because when I went to the recruiter, I told him I want something that is not combat related and something that's like kind of like an office job, like supply or something. So I told the recruiter this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we can get you like cook." And I said, "Yeah, I'll be a cook. I don't care. Like I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. I just don't want any combat support or any combat related MOSs." I was like, "Yeah, we could do that for sure." So I signed for 3 jobs that were not combat related. And then when I do the whole MEPS thing, the day that I was gonna ship out, the recruiter, he's like, "Hey, your MOS closed." And I was like, "So what does that mean? I can't be a cook or like what?" And he's like, "No, you have to talk to somebody else, like his higher up." I was like, "Okay." So I talked to his higher up, and his higher up's like, "Yeah, your MOS closed. So the only thing I have right now for you is infantry if you want to ship out today." And it was the day that I was gonna ship out. So I was like, "All right. I mean, what does that do? What does it mean?" Because I have no idea what it means. He's like, "Oh, bro, it's like playing football." And I was like, "How?" He's like, "Because you're outside, you run outside, you do stuff, with your body, like you're running outside a lot." I'm like, "So just working out?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right. I mean, I guess. I mean, it has the word infant in it, so I'm like, it can't be too bad." So I'm like, "All right, sure."
They
That was
got you
my
good.
logic.
They got you
Yeah, so that
good.
was my logic. Because I was like, I'm getting on that bus, so help me God.
Talk to me a little bit. Once you shipped out that day, what was your experience? Where did you go from there? Did you go to there's Marine Corps recruiting Paris Island, and there's one more,
San Diego. I went to
San
San Diego.
Diego. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So from Maps, you leave downtown. The bus picks you up, and then you get your last meal at like the Denny's in Carlsbad or no San Clemente. You get your last meal, and then I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. Like I just had a burger. Like we're about to go get trained, I guess. And I'm like, all right, this isn't too bad so far. So then we keep going down the freeway, and it's normal. And then we finally show up to the San Diego airport area, the USO, I think it's called. And that's the first time I seen a drill instructor, like a campaign cover. And I was like, okay, what are we supposed to do? Like, I'm lost. Like, and there's a bunch of us, that they're like, oh yeah, I want to be here. Like, I'm here for adventure. Like, they know the deal, or they train themselves, or they already know. They did the research. And I had zero research. I'm just like, I'm just gonna go at it. They're like, oh yeah, we're supposed to do this, this, and this. I'm like, okay. And this guy's just yelling at us, and he's telling us to get in line because the buses are gonna pick us up to take us to the depot. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then what happens? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen after that. So then we get on the bus. They make us put our heads down. And I'm like, all right. So I just have to listen because I'm kind of scared. So I'm like, all right, put my head down, look at the seat in front of me, and then the drill instructor comes inside the bus, and I can hear the boom, 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 like the thuds of his shoes. I'm like, what the heck? He's like, with the frog voice, "You're here in my depot, blah, 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 blah." And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? This is crazy. He's like, "Look up right now." And I'm like, okay. I'm
So
just
you
quiet. Like,
so
what's
you
up?
had done no research about boot camp. You
Zero
had
research.
you had no idea what you're walking into.
Zero idea. Like,
Jesus.
not a clue. I was just happy that I was going to get shelter and clothes and food. That's what I was happy for. Those 3 things. I'm like, say less. Like, whatever. I'll do
So
whatever.
they were your motivator.
Yeah. Survival.
So where to from there?
So we get off of the bus, and then we go to the yellow footprints. And then after that, I have my papers. And I'm like, okay, what's going to happen there? Are they trying to, like mess with us? Or, like, what are they trying to do? What is the purpose for this? Like, that's what I'm questioning. And they take us into this other room. They make us empty our pockets, like everything. And after that, there's like 12 of them in the room, and they're just yelling the whole time, and it's just chaotic. Because then they make me like do all sorts of things, like so specific too. They're like, grab this bag and Rambo sling it this way, proportionate to this, and I'm just like, what? Why does that matter? Like, why do I have to put the bag like on my pocket on this side? I was like, that makes no sense, but I just have to listen. So I'm like, all right, I guess. So they're just marching us around, and I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. They're just yelling, but it's just like, I don't know why they're yelling, but they're just yelling. So I'm like, all right, it's not too bad. So then they take us inside, and they basically process us through different little sections. So the first thing I remember is I had to go get my haircut, and the dude was being so aggressive. Like, he grabbed my head like that, and he was just like aggressively. I'm like, whoa, what the heck? Why can't we have hair? Like, I was confused. I was like, why can't we have hair? Because I had long ass hair. And I was like, okay. So shaves my head. And then after that, we get our cards. And I'm like, okay, what? We're getting paid? That's the moment I found out. I was like, what? Yeah, he's like, at the end of boot camp, once you guys get paid, all the money will be deposited into your account. I was like, what? We're getting paid for this? No way. Sweet. So I definitely look forward to it. So I was like, all right, cool. Did that, and then after that, they take us to the squad bay, and it's huge because it's all the receiving people. And I remember the moment that evening because I figured out we weren't going to sleep much. Was when they made us dump our stuff because I was like, what the heck? They're making us dump our stuff. It's already late. It's already 1 in the morning. So I'm like, we're not sleeping. Like I thought it was like a regular job where you have to, they give you 8 hours and you just go to sleep and that's it. But no, that wasn't happening. And then I stayed in that squad bay for a week while they processed us. The next day during dental, some dude actually passed out because we were standing in line and we haven't slept. So we're standing in line and this dude literally passes out before he goes sees the doc. I'm like, what the heck? I was like, man, this is deep. What am I getting myself into? Like, I was just trying to like absorb it all,
Did
But it
you
was
ever
just
think?
crazy.
Did you ever think I've made a bad
It was when
choice?
I did it myself. I was like, what did I just do? And I can't go back because the whole time in my head I was thinking, I was like, no, if I quit right now, like my parents are gonna look at me with shame. They're gonna accept me, but they're gonna look at me with shame, and I can't retreat because it's like I left and I was begging for this moment to get out, like a way out to survive. And I'm like, nah, they're gonna look at me with shame, like if I go back. So that was in the back of my head.
And I suppose it's proving it to yourself as well.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely for me too. Because it's like I can't just beg for this lifestyle or beg for this opportunity, and then I'm just like, oh no, it's horrible. I have to throw it away. So I just kind of had to put up with it. And I did not know. I was concerned. I was like, I don't know how 3 months are going to go by here because they're going to go by slow. Like every hour is going by slow.
Can you
Everything
talk
was
to
like
me?
in slow motion.
Can you talk to me about some of your training that you did on experiences within boot camp?
In boot camp, so I was surprised. I thought they were going to teach us like how to shoot a lot more, but it was mostly drill and listening and attention to detail. So it was crazy because like the first phase, it was mostly all just drilling. We looked like crap. Like they had us wear sneakers and then our collars. We looked stupid, and they make you look stupid on purpose. So we had our collars like all the way up, and it was mostly like attention to detail. And then slowly, as you keep progressing, they allow you to do certain things with your uniform so you start looking more like a Marine towards the end. So like at first, it was just mostly drill, practicing, exercise, waking up to the same thing, him yelling, and he's like lights, 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 fire a watch. So I'm like, okay. First phase was rough for me. And then after that, then we go shooting. I was like, oh, cool. Now we're actually doing military stuff, like actually shooting stuff. We go to the field. We go to Camp Pendleton. We go to the field. We hike a lot, and then we shoot. And then, oh man, I had a crazy experience in Camp Pendleton. So when we got to Camp Pendleton, I had to piss so bad, and I could not hold it at all. So they're yelling at us to get off the bus, get off the fucking bus, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get off the bus, but I'm gonna run to the restroom inside. So I run inside and I'm like, Santos, where the fuck are you? And I'm just like, oh shit, like I'm trying to take a piss, sir. Yeah, and he takes me outside and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and I got fucked up too. It was pretty embarrassing because I was getting blasted in IT, so I was getting like physically trained. Like you know what IT is, right? Like intensive training, I think it's called.
Yep.
Or incentive training.
Yep.
Yeah, so the guy just basically has you there doing exercises like nonstop by
I think it's
yourself.
called getting smoked is the
Yeah, getting smoked. Their phrase,
the
their phrase,
common
bro. They'll be like,
terminology.
yeah, their phrase, bro, like, empty your goddamn pockets right now. Go die, bitch. And I'm like, damn, all right. But yeah, I did that. After that training with the third phase. Third phase was pretty cool. You start looking more like a Marine, so like you know how to roll your sleeves, you know how to fix your pants and stuff. You just look sharper. I feel like you start looking like you're molding like a sculpture. You start looking more and more and more like it. Like at first you look like a bag of like assholes, like combined, but then you start looking really good, especially how you march and stuff. So it's a lot of drilling and a lot of attention to detail to things. That's what I think I picked up the most.
Talk to me about March Out Day after that 3 months.
After that, you get 10 days of vacation. So after that, I took my 10 days and I was with my girlfriend at the time. She picked me up from the place, the depot, and she played a prank on me actually. So I was sitting in her hotel room and she woke me up with like lights, 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 lights on YouTube. And I got up quick too. And she's like, "Oh, I just want to see if you got up." It was true. And I did get up. I was just like, "Oh, damn."
Is that video on YouTube?
Yeah, it said lights, 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 lights. And I'm like, and she see me get up.
I'll,
She's like, "Oh, I just wanted to see."
I'll have to look for it and tag it in the podcast episode.
Yeah, because that's how they wake you up. Like it's a harsh like waking up because it's like they turn on the lights and then it's just lights. I'm like, oh, it's crazy, man.
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
How did you feel on March Out Day?
I felt really proud, to be honest, because like my family was there, and I could tell that they were happy. I don't think I really understood the gravity of or significance of what I involved myself into, because then it's like you still have a 4-year contract. So I'm like, okay, like I didn't understand at the time. Like I was taking it in, but I'm like, okay, this is a pretty big deal. Like I thought I was just trying to get like a job for survival. But I'm like, nah, this is apparently a pretty big deal. Like there's all these families and there's all these people that are like super proud, and there's people that like actually wanted to join the military, like for adventure and for service or whatever. And I respect that, because it's like for them they see the significance in it, but I'm over here like I'm trying to grasp it because I don't see it as much. Like I just went through it and I did my best. But I'm like, for everybody else, this is like a very huge milestone, and maybe I'm not feeling it like as much, But
Yeah,
I felt great.
yeah,
Just
but I
seeing
think
everybody else, like my family, like that made me feel happy. Like my family was super proud.
you've proved something to yourself as well. It's not just those around you proved it. And like they say, the title Marine can't be bought. It has to be earned.
Yeah, that's true. That is entirely true. I've
Yeah,
seen so
yeah.
many people like pass out like on hikes and stuff, and just people in general just break down like all the time. And then people like even conspire how to get out of the Marine Corps, like medically, like they will lie and they will say things just to get out of it, like they try and get out of it. But I'm like, I don't know how you guys can do that, because it's like there's no other option. You already kind of signed up for this. It's like there's no choice.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose the gravity of what you've achieved and what you signed up for, because I mean, you kind of went in it, for lack of a better word, desperation. You know what I mean? To prove
Yeah,
something to yourself, to make sure you had an income, to make sure you had a career, and the gravity of what you signed up for as you've progressed through all these phases has grown, and I guess has more meaning as you're going through.
for sure. That is entirely true. Like when I got out of boot camp, I did not see things the same anymore than when I first started. Like when I first joined, like I did not see things the same anymore, and I liked it. Like it was different. Like I knew something changed. It would take a little bit more time for me to notice what actually changed. Like now I know who I am, but even then, like during that initial phase, I was still trying to grasp like what exactly is the meaning of this, like the big cause of it. But it was pretty significant. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It
so
it
much
swayed my
heritage
life
in
the
the Marine
same way.
Corps. So much heritage in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride to it, and I think as humans, like if we make achievements, I think we can definitely hold on to the pride for those achievements for sure if you put the work in.
Well, that's exactly right. So after your 10 days vacation, where to from there?
So after that, 10 days finish, and then they said I have to go to school, infantry school. And mind you, I don't know what my job is. Like I don't know what infantry is still. I remember I would get hints like in boot camp, like my drill instructors would be like, because they were motor T, and they're like, oh, Santos, and they'd mess with me a lot because I was stupid, because like I don't know anything about the military. And they're like, oh, Santos, you're infantry? Oh, you're gonna get fucked up. And I was like, what is he saying? I was like, I don't understand. He's like, oh, you better get used to carrying people like that. I was like, what? I was like, infantry, okay. So I go to school. I check in. I was like, okay, cool. I'm a Marine. I'm gonna get treated nice now. Like I finally made it. Like it's all good now. Now this is a legit business. That was
Yep.
not what happened. They
Yep.
treated
You
us
earned
like
the globe at
stupid
anchor. You
bitch
think
too.
you're home free. Yep. And now the real work starts.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, we're being treated like shit again, just differently though. We have more freedom now, but it was different. So I check in. I'm all motivated because I'm like, all right, whatever. Now I finally get to work with other Marines. I have to get trained in my school, my job, whatever I have to do. I don't even know what that job is, but I'm gonna try my best. So I go in, check in, and they check us in, and I'm like, okay, infantry school, 30 days. They make you do like a basic MCT, basically. But it's a little bit more enhanced because I did not know that my MOS was like infantry, like direct combat conflict. So I'm like, okay, so it was more in depth doing the MCT part. Did that, and then it was pretty cool. But then the next month, he was like, oh yeah, now we're gonna switch you up into your MOS school. So they divide us up. So when you finish that first 30 days, they divide everybody up into MOSs based on how smart you are. So some
Because
people are,
from what I understand, every Marine does that 30 days of Marine combat training.
yep,
Correct? Yep.
yes, yep. But depending, like the logistics people, like Pogues,
Yep.
personnel other than
People
grunts,
other grunts. Yep.
yep, they do the 30 days, but it's a lot watered down compared to ours. Like it's more harsher for us. So then, yeah, they separate us because that's our actual job. So some are going to be machine gunners, some are going to be assaultmen, some are going to be riflemen and mortarmen, stuff like that. So they separate you based on how smart you are. And I wasn't smart enough. I tried to be an assaultman. When they said, "Oh, you have to choose," I'm like, "Assaultman." I saw a rocket, so I was like, "Yeah, I want to do that." And they're like, "Yeah, Santos, you're fucking dumb. You're not going to be an assaultman." I'm like, "Okay, Sergeant, sorry." So it's like, "You're going to be a rifleman with everybody else." And there's a lot of them, so I'm like, "All right, I guess." But then even then, I was like, "Rifleman?" I was like, "So yeah, you guys are in the rifleman package." I'm like, "So are we going to like fix rifles or like what do we do? Are we like armor?" Like before I knew the terms, I'm like, "So rifleman, so fix rifles then for the other people?" So like, "All right, cool." He's like, "All right, sweet." Going to field up, and then we're doing patrol-based operations. And my combat instructor was like, "Yeah, you do this before you actually kill someone doing this." And I'm like, at that moment, like I stayed quiet, but I'm in patrol, and I'm like, "Kill? What? Like, what are you talking about, bro?" He's like,
Is that the
"Yeah,
moment where it kind of sunk in and you gone, ah, shit?
yeah." I was like, "What? I actually have to shoot people? I thought we were just doing this training stuff." Yeah, so I was surprised. I was like, I didn't sign up for this. I thought it was football, but they lied to me clearly.
Clearly.
Yep, but I just made the most of it. I was like, all right, I guess that's what I have to do then. So I have to learn this as best as I can. So I did. And I did enjoy infantry school a lot. I didn't think I was that strong, like mentally or physically. Or I didn't know that I'd have what it takes like to do that job, but I guess I did. And then school finished, and then I thought graduation was going to be nice, like in boot camp, but they kept us up all night long, fielding, and they did it on purpose. That way we go to our units all tired. They were messing with us all night, making us clean. We graduated. We have not slept, and we had to do a PFT, so like a physical fitness test, in the morning time too, before we go check into our other unit. So everybody looks like complete ass, and I was so mad because like the reservists, they were going home after graduation, and me and everybody else that's active duty, they had to go to their unit. So they call us off by names. They're like, all right, from A to, I don't know, D is going here, from D to here is going here, blah, blah, blah. So I was one of the lucky four that got to stay in Camp Pendleton. There was only four of us. And I was like, oh, sweet, I get to stay home. Like, my family's out here. This is not too bad. I was like, this is nice. Graduate, and then, like, oh, you're going to 1-4. So some unit officials come to pick me up. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm really going to the Fleet Marine Corps. Like, this is crazy. Like, all this school, like, it's been preparing me. Like, I wonder if I have what it takes. Like, what's going to happen now? Like, what's next? Because I'm confused. I'm like, what's going to happen next? And they come pick me up, and then it was chill at first. And I'm like, what the heck? This is pretty calm. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's because the unit, they're in a field up right now, so they're not going to be back until later. So you'll meet your seniors then. I'm like, seniors? Like, senior Marines? I'm like, okay, cool. So it was just chill. That's how graduation went. And then I checked into my unit.
How was your first experience with a unit? Because you said you went to 1-4, 1st Battalion, 4th Marines, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, so like I said, when I first showed up there, the only two people that received us were the company officials, and then after that, there were some other boots. So the new people that stayed back, but they were getting kicked out of the Marine Corps because one of them, Mickens was his name. What did he do? He hit a gunny in the face, and then he had rounds on him in the field up because he was going to shoot some of his seniors because they were hazing him.
Oh, Jesus.
So he was there, and then another guy, Ostrander, was there too. And it was just me and my friend, me and my buddy. And Ostrander was there too, and he tried to kill himself, to try and get out too. So they're both there, and they're talking to me and my friend, and they're like, you guys aren't going to make it. You might make it a week to my friend, because he's motivated, and he actually wanted to do it in the military. And he's like, you might make it a week, but he doesn't even know what he's in here for. He's not going to last long. And I'm like, what is he talking about? I was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but sure, whatever. But they were basically the turds that introduced us, I guess, to it, and they were trying to like cause fear for us, but it's just like, well, neither of us can leave, so. But yeah, that's basically what happened when I first checked in. And then finally my seniors came from the field up, and they were all dirty, and I seen them, they all looked rough, like mustaches and just nasty, like these grizzly men coming out of trucks, and I'm like, whoa, I'm all clean, like I just got out of school, like I'm just like, hey, what's up, guys?
So for the first little while within your unit, can you tell me some of the things that you were doing within that unit?
Yeah, so at first it started with like a 30-day haze fest with one of my seniors. He was my squad leader. He would take us on flak runs every morning, like early, and we run like 13, 12 miles like up hills because there's a bunch of hills like with our flax, and we would get smoked like all the time. And then we still had like we were in boot camp again, and I was like, what the heck? Like, you have to be here at this time, boot, like this and this and this, like treated like crap. But during the beginning part, it was definitely rough because of that. Like the PT, like my legs were fucked. Like after the 30 days, I was like, damn, like how does this dude have this energy to do this stuff? But it was pretty interesting because then after I already knew my like trade or my job, like how I have to do things like in the field and stuff. Like, oh, it's cool. It's like camping, so I'm outside. All right. But it was pretty cool. I think probably the highlight of training stateside before Darwin was probably the Cree. It's called the Cree. That one was a ringer. Like, oh man. So that was the first time where I legit got smoke checked, and I went internal for a little bit because I was like, what the heck is this? Is this real? Does this really happen? Like, I never knew this happens in real life. Because what happened was, it was 2 weeks. The first week we were doing patrolling, and I remember I was like, all right, we're gonna start the field up. It starts at like 7 p.m. the field up. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, gents, at 8 we're gonna march, and then we're gonna walk to the rally point. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, we're gonna start walking at night. Cool. And then we walk. I'm like, I think it's only gonna take like 2 miles tops. But no, we end up walking from 8 p.m. all the way until 9 in the morning the next day, and I see the sun come up, and I'm already tired because it's like I have full kit, I have a day pack, all my stuff, and I'm just carrying all this stuff, like going down hills, up and down hills. Finally get to the spot, and then I'm like, okay, we finally made it. I can take this off before we sit in the defense, and I can just chill. And they're like, all right, gents, sit in the defense, start digging in. But then we get fire from like the op 4, so the simulators people.
Yep.
The actors, yeah. So the actors, they come out, and then I'm like, oh crap, we just finished marching, and then we have to engage them and practice the exercise. And then I'm like, all right, finish that exercise, and then it starts raining, and I'm like, what the fuck, like, bro, can this day get any worse? I've just hiked for like this many hours, like what the hell, like I'm just trying to chill. And I remember I was walking back to my position, and it was just muddy. The area that we were at was just full of mud, and it was just wet because it was just raining hard. And I remember I seen like I can take a mental image because I seen one of my machine gunner friends, and he was on the floor, and I just seen him just muddy, just dirty, wet, and his gun's like right there, and I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. After that, we dig the hole. I dig 6 feet, and then me and my friend stay in there. We stay in there all night, and I remember I was just miserable because like the hole. We tried to make a trench to go around the hole because it was cold. It was wintertime, so it was cold and wet. And we tried to make a trench. Me and his name was Raw. We tried to make a trench around the hole. He was like, yeah, bro, we can probably divert the water away from our hole. But it did not work. All the water was seeping into our hole. So we were just sitting in water just like this, and it's just dark and cold, bro.
Yep, it
It's
is
like,
what it is.
yep,
Embrace the suck.
yep. So I'm like, what kind of life is this? Then after that, the next day, they're like, okay, now we're gonna really hike to the next objective. I was like, what's the next objective? And it's this Mount town. So it's like a Mount military operations in urban terrain. So we go there, and then the actors are already there. We hiked like a good 4 miles. All our feet are wet. All our stuff is wet. Our guns are rusted. Like everything's wet. Everything's just fucked. So we go over there, and then like, all right, gents, before we just got intel before we attack this Mount town, there is a NBC threat. I was like, fuck. So we have to mop up. So we have to put the chemical suits, like the mop suits. So we
Yep.
put it all up, and dude, it just stinks. I had the worst foul smell because I smell wet. I stink. It just smells like shit, feet, like everywhere. And it's just like, it insulates you because it's supposed to keep you safe from chemicals. So we put that stuff on, and I remember people were already going internal because that suit is really hot. And just all the fumes and then the gas mask, walking up to the town, and then taking fire. And yeah, we go there, and I'm just like, fuck, like this is real. Like this is how Call of Duty looks like from what I remember. I was like, what the heck? Okay, do that, and then I was like, all right, I'm pretty much done. They let us sleep at the Mount Town because the doctor basically had to beg the company commander to. He's like, no, they're Marines. They have to push. We have to go to the next place. He's like, sir, if you push these Marines, you're not gonna have a company tomorrow morning. He's like, all these Marines' feet are fucked. Like you're not gonna have a company tomorrow, which is true. So they made us crash there because of the medical reasons. And I remember one image that I saw was my friend Leahy. We all crashed in this mountain. There's rat shit everywhere too, and we didn't care. I'm just like, this is comfortable. It's not raining on me. Like it's cool. And I remember I seen Leahy, and he's like, Santos, look at my feet. I was like, what? Why do I want to look at your foot? And he takes off his sock, and as he takes off his sock, like, because he's white, so some of his skin, like, his whole skin peels off of his sock onto his sock, and I see, like, the pink, white skin right there, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? And he shows the dog. He gets kicked back, like, to the rear. But yeah, that's what happened. And then we woke up, and that was it. That was the worst time.
Jesus. Before we go into your deployments, I want to talk a little bit about, because I don't think we've talked about this on any podcast at all. How was living on base?
In Camp Pendleton or Darwin?
Any base.
It was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like off time or work wise?
We'll go off time.
Off time? In Camp Pendleton, it was very nice. I'm a California local, so I know all the spots. I have my car. Like everybody else was from different states, so I can go wherever I want. I have friends, like girlfriends, whatever. Like I can hang out with them. Like I know where everything's at. It was nice, especially in California. Like I'm living in a very nice area, just because I'm stationed there, and I'm like, damn, this is really nice. So it was really good. Like in the rear, it was cool because you just have the gym, you have movies on base, you have the store, you just sit in your room, play video games, you have a roommate. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's something I cannot lie about is the off time's pretty nice, especially where you're stationed.
Yep. Living with all your friends, I suppose, is pretty good.
Yeah, because you just go to their room and you can just fuck with them. They're like, hey, bitch, let me in. And they'll let you in, too. So we're all friends.
I've been to a few parties on base. They can get pretty rowdy.
Robertson's the same way.
Like the Austin's too, they'll come outside. Barracks is the same way, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, they'll come outside and they'll be playing, like, rugby and stuff. And they're like, what the heck? These guys are cool. It's the same culture.
Who was it when... I'm trying to remember if it was your rotation or not your rotation. I was with someone on base at Robertson when I was working there, and there was Americans there. I don't know if it was one of you. Someone had lost a boomerang. Some American bought a boomerang, threw it, and it went on the roof on top of these 2-story buildings, and the Marines were trying to climb up on the side of the building. It was you. I thought it was you.
Yeah, that was us. That was so stupid.
Oh man, I remember
talking about it. Like I don't directly know that group, but everybody all over the base talked about it. It went straight through the grapevine. They're like, "Yeah, somebody lost a boomerang."
I remember, and this is more Marine stories. RAF base in Darwin. For those that don't know, so I was a locksmith, and I used to do all the work on the military bases before I started with the ambulance service. And I had gone to sign out some keys to work on in a room. And the lady who's no longer alive that worked in that area where I signed the keys out, she's like, Arresty, you're not going to believe what happened. And I'm like, tell me. She goes, come inside. So we've gone. Have you been to the RAF base before when you were up here?
The RAF?
Yeah, the Air Force base.
No, just Robertson. So, that's the only place I've been to.
All right, so when you go to the accommodation cell to pick up your keys and they give you your linen, on the right hand side of that they had the laundry facilities. So they had washing machines on the ground and they had washing machines above them, so off the ground. Mm-hmm. Some Marine managed to take a shit in the fucking washing machine, the one that was mounted on the fucking wall. So I don't know how the hell they got up there.
Or why?
They found out who it was, and he got smoked. He got NJP'd for it. So I heard from the staff there, but I was like, how the hell did he take a shit in a fucking washing machine that high?
And why though? What was the motive?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
They do stupid stuff like that all the time. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers are dumb. This is America's greatest fighting force. Sheesh.
Oh mate,
they're a joy, bro.
Oh mate, there's some funny stories, and I can understand people get bored and have a few drinks and get up to mischief, but I know the Aussies do the same, and it's just
yeah, they do. They're wild. I like their language, bro.
It's the culture.
Like, yeah, he just fucked off. And I'm like, oh, he just went over there. Yeah, he just fucked off. What?
Yeah, there's a.
Did you hear about the time that somebody took a shit in the pool?
No. Is this at Robertson Barracks?
In the pool at the gym at Robertson.
Oh my god.
Like, why? Why would you do that? There's no reason to poop in the pool, and they closed the pool for a whole week. And I was pissed. Jesus. I was like, who the fuck would do that?
Oh Jesus Christ.
And then we had a whole briefing the next day, and they're like, you Marines need to stop getting drunk and go taking shits in pools. We're gonna get kicked out of here. We're gonna outstay our welcome. The Aussies probably hate us because of you guys. That's the reason. Once we find out who it is, there's gonna be mass hell for everybody. I'm like, bro, why don't you just put us the guy that took a shit in the pool?
Exactly. Capital punishment, mate. Capital punishment. Everyone.
Yeah.
One person's in trouble, everyone's in trouble.
Yeah. You know what I'm surprised about Robertson?
Tell
Is
me.
how you've seen the cane toads, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the people on the base are like, yeah, as soon as you see one, you can just kill it. Nobody cares. And me and my friends were just going ham, just killing cane toads because nobody cared at all. They're just like, oh yeah,
Well,
thanks.
they're pests up here. They were introduced. I can't remember many years ago. I believe to try and control some sort of insect that was around, but it
Oh, I
ends
see.
up to be the cane toads have done a worse problem than the insects were doing. So
Oh,
yeah, they're commonly they actually have nights here, like community nights where people get together to go get cane toads. But apparently the humane way to kill them is you grab them, you put them in a plastic bag and put them in the freezer.
really?
Apparently.
Oh, dang. Yeah, my friend, there was one at the pool, and he flipped it on its stomach, and then he just stomped on it, and it sounded like a balloon. It was just like, poof.
Yeah, but they don't die. You know how much it takes for those things to die? They actually throw their guts up out of their mouth and then they can suck it back in.
What the heck?
From what I understand, yeah, it's
They're
crazy.
survivalists.
Yeah, man, they're crazy. You don't want to mess with one of them. All right, so that's the funny story.
That's funny.
We're actually talking about doing a whole segment of funny stories actually with a few of the vet guys that I know. Just
Sweet.
just funny stories, little short clips, but we'll get back on track. So deployments. So you mentioned to me you had a few. Talk me through the deployments that you had.
So the first one was Darwin, and before I didn't even know what a deployment was before. So when I got sent out of school, they're like, yeah, just so you guys know, you owe your unit 2 deployments, maybe even 3. I'm like, what the hell's a deployment? And obviously it's going abroad. So when I first got to my unit, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm stationed here. And they're like, hey, we're going to deploy at this time to Darwin. And I'm like, what do you mean deploy? And it's like, yeah, you're going to be away from your house for like a long time. So I'm like, oh, word? Like, really? It's like, yeah. So we're training right now before we go to the next country, which is Darwin. So I'm like, okay. And this happens twice. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to feel, leaving everybody back here for a long time. So we do the whole workup. It was pretty rough. And after that, I'm a boot. So I have to do like all the stuff, like load up all the packs and everything, all the working stuff. Do that. So I don't really get much sleep because I have to do that. And then we end up going to March Air Force Base. From there, we go to Australia. And then that's an uncomfortable flight. It stinks because people's feet, boots, all that stuff.
So military plane then?
No, it's a civilian plane.
Civilian plane, but
it's just
chartered for
everybody's in
military.
uniform, and we haven't showered in like a day, and it's just like there's stinky people like in one place, or just stunk the whole way through. And then we finally get to Australia, and it's nighttime, and I remember it was like hella hot. I thought it was hot, but it was just humid. I never felt that type of humidity. So I go outside, and I'm like, what the heck? I thought it would be cold. Go outside. It's nighttime. Bleeds into the morning time. We start checking in our rifles into Robertson. I see Robertson for the first time. After that, the trucks come with all our packs and stuff. I have to offload the trucks with my friends. And then they show us to our room, and there's 4 rooms so there's 4 rooms inside one building, if that makes sense. So there's 4.
So yeah, it's a 2-level building. They're split into quarters, and each quarter's got 4 rooms.
Yep.
And there was 2 people to a room.
Yes. Even though the Australians, they live 1 person to a room, right?
They do, yes.
Yeah. So I was just like, wow, it's pretty crowded in here. But we go in there, and then I'm like, okay, like, this is new. Like, is this real? Like, I was questioning it because it's just like, I never been to another country like that. So I'm like, is this real? Like, really?
Had you traveled out of the US or out of
out of the US?
South
like,
America?
I've only been to South America, and that's it. I never actually been to another country. This is my first time. So it was just different. Like I said, I was just kind of like, it was curious because it's like, is this real? Like, I know it's real, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I was like, all right, go to the room, set up our stuff, and then I start walking around, and I remember the first thing I can think of, bro, is like, I just walk outside, my shirt's already wet, I'm like, what is this place? I've never felt anything like this. Like, that weather is insane. I was like, how's anybody gonna live out here? Why do people live here? This is hot. It's
Yep.
uncomfortable.
It sure
But
is. The humidity is bad.
yeah, seriously, I didn't even know you guys did not have cold weather. It's just dry and wet.
Yep. Well, the
It's
dry
wild.
season for us is cold, so in comparison to what you guys have.
Yeah, but it was just wet. And I remember I was exploring the base and I was looking all around, and it was very like cozy in a weird way. Like, you guys, well, from what I've seen how the base is run, it's like very quiet, cozy. Everybody's just kind of chill. There's like a really chill vibe like at the base for sure. And the Australian soldiers, like, they're super chill. Like, they're just walking around doing their thing. They have nice cars. I saw their cars. They have really nice cars. And yeah, it was pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. It was like nostalgic in a way. It brought me
Yeah.
back to the 90s.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind in Darwin.
It's chill. Definitely chill vibes. It's not as fast. It's just like, because here it's like super fast, but over there it's just like chill.
Yeah, Darwin's a quite a small place, so yeah,
I like
especially
those
coming from
vibes.
somewhere like California.
Yeah, I like those vibes, to be honest. So it was like a nice break for sure. Like, just feeling it. You can just feel it when you get there. And then I think my favorite place on the base was probably there's this lounge. So everybody would go out on a limo, and I would just stay on base sometimes, and I just go play Modern Warfare and drink beer because you could be 18 and drink beer there. And I was like a kid at a candy store. I was like, what? Like, I can really get beer? I was like, yeah, because I was 20 at the time. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, say less. So I'll just play Modern Warfare and drink beer.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard some of the higher ups were saying to a lot of the venues in Darwin, don't serve Marines unless they're over 21.
Yep.
But the law here is 18. They're like, we can't stop them if they're 18.
Yep.
It is what it
Yeah.
is.
The
I know
Aussies
they
don't.
tried to restrict you guys on base. I know they did, but it didn't really work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they wouldn't care. So it was
So
nice.
tell me about some of your experiences deploying to Darwin, because that's considered a deployment for you guys.
Yes, it's a UDP. So it was mostly diplomatic because it's to build relations with another power and to help each other. Like, we got to work with your guys' military, and it's mostly just so we can coordinate with each other. Mostly diplomatic, mostly working with your guys' military, building relations, making friendships, working together, see how we work operationally. Um, I think one thing that I learned that I liked about you guys was Anzac Day. That's when I found out how closely embedded like the U.S. and the Australians are from
Yep.
Anzac Day. Like, I found out about Anzac Day like early morning. Like, it was pretty nice. Like, it was very ritualistic, I guess, like in honor of the people from Anzac Day. And I never knew anything about Anzac Day before, but like the soldiers, they took like a lot of pride. Like, they got up early morning and then they like remembered the people for Anzac Day, and they had this whole like nice passage to it. And I got a lot of respect from it because I'm like, damn, like we really are closely knit together. And then we got to parade with them outside in the city. So that was pretty unique to see how related and how close we are, like together. Even from the past, like World War II, I'm like, dang, I had no idea that Australians and Americans work together like that. And it makes sense why we're still friends, like, and why we're still like helping each other.
Yeah, we've got a
So,
long history together.
yep. And I think it's just gonna get stronger, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope so. Tell me what some of the things that you did with the Aussies, the field exercises that you did.
We got to be next to them in Bradshaw,
Yep.
so it was pretty cool. I got to see how the Australian soldiers work with their field craft. Like, I live in the field too, and the grunts, they live in the field too, but they do it their Australian way. Like, they have a nice setup. Like, the way they do it, because they know how to do it. They have their way. Like, they set up their tent, like a makeshift tent. And he took like really good craftsmanship because I seen him put two sticks and then put a tarp over there, and he was just chilling there. And I loved like the dude's hat because it was like a bucket hat.
Yep.
And they're tall, bro. Like, they're tall and they're hella chill. And then I made him try dip, and he liked it.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't have here, man. You guys are, yeah, I remember on Robertson Barracks. Do you remember where the on Robertson Barracks where you had the barber and the tactical shop and the canteen
Yes.
next to each other? So that barber there, when the first rotation Marines came in, like we hadn't seen dip before. Like it's just not a thing here.
Isn't it
And
illegal?
yeah, well, I don't know if it's illegal, but we don't have it for one reason or another. It could very well be illegal. Anyway,
Gotcha.
they had dip over there, and the Marines were spitting it all over the floor, and they couldn't. Yeah, there was a whole thing about dip around that time where it wasn't allowed, and then
It
they
was
all started carrying around the bottles, empty plastic bottles.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, bro, because I forget his name, But I was chatting with him because we all congregate together. Like while we're resting, we'll go smoke, and then the Australians will smoke too. So we'll all smoke, and we'll be dipping there. And I let him try it, and he grabbed like this big pinch, and he puts it in there. And I'm looking at him, and he has like dip all over his teeth. And I'm like, dude, that's gonna fuck you up. And he's like, no, it's not. And he's just like, oh, he's all like with a head buzz. I'm like, bro, I told you.
Yeah, I've tried it before. It's disgusting. I don't know how you guys do it. One of the Marines gave me some. Jesus. Like, I don't smoke, so like, anyway, disgusting.
That Aussie was ballsy. I was like, respect. I'm like, he legit just grabbed it like he's been doing this forever. And he's just like, oh. I'm like, damn, bro, chill.
Can you tell me about differences out in the field between Marines and Aussies? Is there
Like,
anything that you took away from the Aussies and gone, oh yeah, they do that way better than we do, or Marines have done this, way better than the Aussies?
so I think the Aussies do it a lot better living in the field. But then again, they also treat their military a lot better. And that's a good thing because I can see why people want to stay in the Australian military. Like, they have so many incentives. Like, example, this guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, they have to pay us more if we can't sleep on, like, a cot, like, outside.
Yep.
I had no idea. Or they pay you more if you go to the field, if you're
Yep.
outside. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I wish they paid us more, like, to go to the field. Of course I'd want to stay. Like, if I'm getting paid more cash to do that, I'm like, hell yeah, who wouldn't want to stay? So that for sure. Field-wise, your guys' MRE was pretty legit. Like, it's just one huge MRE, and it lasts, like, several days. That was pretty cool. It has crackers, cheese. That was cool. What else?
M&Ms.
Yep. Yeah, they're huge, bro. Like, I traded 2 MREs for one Australian MRE, and then I got to ride in your guys' MRAPs, and that was pretty cool too. Like, it was AC. I'm like, man, these guys are doing it right. Like, they're like legit. Over here playing with sticks.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I do like your MREs because you don't need fire to heat them up. You've got the heating bag.
True.
Where
That's
our
true.
guys have got the little stove. They have to create a fire.
It's tight though. I like your guys' cheese. Like, they come in like a little capsule like this. It's like a round capsule, and they just eat it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
damn, that's cool.
Yours
wish
is
we had
squeezed
like
cheese.
spread, bro. Huh?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I've tried a fair bit of the American MREs. There's one I had that had the tortillas and had like a beef patty with the squeezed cheese, and it was really, really good.
Oh man,
I
you're
can't, I
ballsy.
can't, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah.
You guys do the field right, the way it's supposed to be done. The military is incentivized. What else do you guys do? It's really neat.
The one thing I know about the Marines is, and it's very different to the Australian, like I've never been in the Australian Army or Defence Force, but from what I understand is like with the Marines, you've got to hit a certain rank by a certain time, otherwise you're out. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah,
And that's another thing too with the Australian military that they do well is you can literally be a corporal for this amount of time and it doesn't matter. It means not like it's okay.
Yeah. And
It's
but the thing
actually
is,
incentivized.
you sign your 4-year contract, from what I understand, and you just keep going until you decide to leave.
Yep.
And I know
That's
people
how it
that
is.
have, yeah, and I know people that have, don't want to hit the rank of sergeant, and they're a corporal, and then they want to bump them to a sergeant, so they do a corps transfer and do another job
Yeah,
and
bro.
start at
That
the
that
beginning
was the
again
trip.
because they don't want to rank up to a sergeant, and they can keep doing that, from what I understand.
Bro, that was the trip too that I saw because like there'll be some salty ass lance corporals like in the Australian military and like we have staff sergeants or like gunnery sergeants, but they have to promote. They have to do that in like a certain amount of time, so they have to do that. And then there's this like salty ass lance in the Australian military. I'm like, what the heck? Like you guys really have been doing it right because they force people to do, and that's how sometimes like we get some of the non-desirables, so people maybe that are just doing it for the wrong reasons to stay in. Bad leadership, I guess.
Yeah,
But in the Australian military, it's like people that actually want to be there. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. But from what I understand is going to the Defence Force in the US can actually be a punishment instead of going to jail.
Wait, what do you mean?
Is that true? That's what I've
Going?
heard. Having the option, like doing something wrong, going to court, and the judge going, well, you can do this much time in jail, or you can join the Marines.
I mean,
That's
I'm
what
pretty
I've heard.
sure-
I don't
What
know
option?
if it's right. I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I'm pretty sure that would be an option though. I mean, it basically is jail. So, I mean, actually, you'd probably want to be in jail first before joining the U.S. military.
All right. So we've kind of covered your Darwin deployment. How long was that for in total?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah,
All right.
I
So
stayed there from April till like late October. We got extended. We were supposed to leave at a certain time, but I forgot what it was. They wouldn't let us leave, so we got extended.
fair enough.
But it was worth it. Honestly, I think I probably like the what's that big mall that you guys have?
Is it Casuarina?
Casuarina. Yep.
Yeah.
Casuarina. What else? Monsoons.
Yeah, that's still open. Monsoons are still
Shenanigans.
going. Yeah, Shenanigans are still going.
Yep. I like those places.
You've been to all the good spots.
Yep.
So
It was-
after Darwin, after seven months in Darwin, you went back to 1-4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Back to
I
California.
stayed with the unit. We went back home. Went back home. After we got home, it was different because now I'm done with boot status. So all the seniors that were above me, like my leadership, they were gonna leave, like EAS. Their contract was done, or they're gonna move to a different unit. So it was time for us boots, the ones who prove themselves, who can have leadership capabilities, to take over. Because we've been trained already. Now it's our turn, and we're gonna have new guys coming out of school, and it's a cycle. It's a machine. So I'm like, okay, cool. So the ones that were actually good would be put in leadership positions or billets and get sent to schools and get specialized training for leadership positions. Yep. Fortunately for me, I did really well as a boot, and I was able to impress my seniors, and they thought I could be a good leader. So they sent me to school. They sent me to TSOLC. After I did TSOLC, they sent me to some other schools. Like I went to hella schools when I got back from deployment before the boots got here, and it was a lot different. Like I was before the deployment and during the deployment, I was being treated like crap a lot by my seniors, and I was always doing their stuff like the slack man. But then when we got back, they were a lot more like, whatever, like we're about to leave, like it's chill, like this is your guys' shit now, like fuck you guys, like you guys have to handle this now. So I'm like, all right. So we all get sent to school. The ones who were not performing good, they just get recycled and they get put in the same general population that the new kids are coming from, so from school. So they get put in the same place. After that, training, waiting for the boots to come. The boots come, we start getting the new people. Our seniors start EASing. At this point, I'm extremely fit. Remember how I described you, like 30 days that guy made me run? Like, yep. I could do that stuff times 10 now. So now I was doing it to other people. Same thing. So they come, and then I get my team, and this is my first time, like, I'm 20. Yeah, I'm 20, and then it's just like, this is my first time, like, having people that I'm supposed to be in charge of. And I've used to being a follower, like, I'm used to being told what to do. But it's like now I actually have to tell people what to do. So it was definitely a different transition, like coming back from Darwin back to the U.S. It was different for sure. Yeah. And it was a big learning curve.
And what rank were you at this point by the time you got
back? I was
a
Lance Corporal.
Lance Corporal?
Yeah, but the Marine Corps, it has a tendency to make you do a job that's above your rank. So I was doing a corporal's job, even though I was a rank below. And even then, like...
I suppose it's not a bad thing for experience.
No, it's not. You're supposed to, actually, the Marine Corps tells you that you're supposed to know 2 jobs above you. So I would have to know a squad leader's job and the platoon sergeant's job, just in case. It's a decentralized command. So in case somebody else goes down, like, somebody else can always take over. Like, even me, like, if a leader goes down, somebody else can always take over.
Centralized intent, decentralized command.
Mm-hmm. It works really well, to be honest.
Decentralized execution, I suppose. Yeah.
Yep. It's fluid, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good model.
So during that transition phase, because we got back from Australia, that whole time that we were back, that year that we were back, was to train for the next deployment. So that whole workup was to train. So now I was doing the same thing that I did when I first got to the fleet, which is train up for a deployment. But now I'm training other people to do it with me. Like I'm training like in a leadership billet, so it's different. I'm doing the same things, but now it's different because now I'm actually taking charge and actually leading things and making stuff happen. So I had a different perception on things compared to before. Like before I was just a rifleman and I'll just listen to what my team leader tells me to do and I'll just do it and I'll do it well. But now it's like I have a lot more autonomy to, I guess, create art. Like if there's a commander's intent to go do something, or I don't know, I want you to attack this building, and it pretty much is up to you so long as you fill the commander's intent. So that's where I found the autonomy, is I'm able to create set pieces and when we're playing war with my dudes, my personnels, and coordinate with other units to do that. So that was pretty unique. Like I have more of a say on how to do things, so long as it fills commander's intent. So I thought it was a lot different, but that was probably like the most takeaway that I took on the second part before the next deployment. So it was different.
So how long? What was your thoughts when you found out you were going on a MU?
Honestly, I was a lot more scared than Darwin, because they made us put our stuff like several months onto the ship like beforehand, and I've never seen a Navy warship before. I didn't know how big they were, so it was different for me. And then it's like now I'm like, all right, now I'm going on deployment somewhere else on a ship. I've never had people underneath me, or I never had to work with other leaders going on a deployment, so it's different because it's like Robertson Barracks. It's like I'll stay in one spot, and it's normal because it's like Woodville Field. It's the same thing, but it's just like for the ship, I was just like concerned. I was like, where are we going? Like, what places are we gonna stop? Because the ship can stop in several places, even like without telling us.
Yep.
Like they have a predetermined like map on where they're going, but they can still stop depending on operational needs on where they need to go. Like if there's conflict in a certain area, the ship will go there.
Yeah. So this was considered a combat deployment, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why on my veterans thing or my classification, that's what it says for it. Yeah, because we stopped in 2 places of conflict, which was Syria and Yemen.
Yeah. So it's quite serious places as well.
Yeah, it's in the Middle East. We were there for like 3 months. So we stayed there lingering.
So talk to me about talk to me a little bit about life on the ship first, how you found that going from, living on base to going to life on a ship for the first time.
So it was crazy, bro, because it's like I go to the ship and I'm at the docks and I see all these massive warships and I look at them and they're just like tall, bro. I did not think they were that big, but they're huge. They're buildings on water. So I go drop my stuff off. I start loading up the ship slowly over the course of months. And I found out where I was going to be living, and it's a bed, and then you lift up the bed, and there's stuff to put in there, and then you have a locker to put your military stuff, which is already a little bit of space, and that's it. You have nothing else. I was like, how am I supposed to live out of a bed for 9 months or whatever? I was like, okay, so it's interesting. I go in there. It's huge, very huge but small. Like the passages are very small. It's metallic, like. But there's nice flooring, like on the officer deck, they have blue floors, and then in the middle decks where we were, they have like white floors. So it's like color coded, like for each floor, like what designation it is or what they do on each floor. Like the officers are up top, enlisted are in the middle, and then in the bottom is mostly like maintenance and stuff. So it's different colors for different levels. But it was pretty unique, to be honest. Like I never seen a ship that big, and then I seen all the guns, and I'm like, what the hell? Like this is real. Like you just see it in movies, but I'm like, I'm living it. Like it's real. So it was crazy.
Yeah. So Yemen and Syria, tell me about some of your times in those places. What was your role going on the MEU? What was the mission? So
when we went on the MEU, the first places, have you seen the movie Devotion?
No.
Well, that one is probably I recommend it for anybody that listens to this. That movie's probably depicts a MEU perfectly, like how it goes down. But basically what happens is you go through these like little stops, peaceful stops, to fill up the ship or whatever as you go to your areas of conflict, which is at this time the Middle East. So you stop by like Singapore, all these stuff, train, make relations with other militaries, talk to them, and then you go to the area of conflict with Yemen or whatever general's in charge of that area to get your orders. So when we first stopped to Yemen, at the time the Navy SEALs were conducting raids on ISIS, because ISIS at that time was retreating out of Mosul into Syria. So they were conducting raids in Yemen, and me and my guys, we were QRF for the SEALs, like the Navy SEALs. Do you know anything about the Navy SEAls?
I do, yes.
Yeah, they're badass, bro.
They're like badass.
Yeah, they were like heroes, bro. Like bearded, like sleeved up, like rough. And I'm like, damn, respect. But yeah, I was happy that we were QRF for them. So we had to stay up all night and board planes or helicopters to go help them out. Because if you've seen the movie Lone Survivor, it's kind of the same thing. They wanted to avoid like a situation like that where they get overrun. And there's a little bit of gun, so it's like, okay, we already have people on the ship that are ready to go with them.
Yep, perfect. And for those that don't know, QRF, Quick Reaction Force.
Yep. So I did that. It was pretty cool because it was nighttime. After that, Syria, we had 3 different companies playing different roles in Syria. So Bravo was directly on the floor, and then Alpha was on the ship on the outside. And then Charlie was guarding the arty. But we were doing artillery strikes in Syria. So that's what was going on. Other than that, that was the only areas of conflict or imminent danger that I got to face. But it was pretty nice. It was hot, though.
Yeah. Did you ever stop to think, like, when you first joined, you signed up to infantry, you didn't even know what infantry was, and now you're here in Syria, in Yemen, throwing down mortars. Did you ever think this is where your life was going to be?
Nope. Bro, all the time, man. I was surprised. Even actually, one of my squad leaders, because we worked, I was his team leader. He told me, he's like, you know what, Santos here, because I'm a leader. He's like, he's one of those rare instances where you show up to some place and you absolutely know nothing about it, but you just excel at it for some reason. So sometimes I feel like it was like meant to be, because it's just like I'm just playing, like this is normal. Like it feels like I fit the role really good. I never would have imagined that I would be there, or that this stuff happens in real life. Like people are sleeping, like my family, like I'd call them, and it'd be like a different time. I'm like, what the heck? What time is it over there? It's like 5 in the morning, bro. I was like, it's daylight over here.
But I think that's a big testament to yourself. You know, you're adaptable. You know, you've taken on the change. You're adaptable to change. You're adaptable. You follow orders, and I guess it helps when you don't put too much thought into it. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to sign up for. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
Just do the best that you can.
Yeah, exactly. Putting the best effort you can into what you do.
I believe that entirely. That's how I viewed it the whole time. It's like all I have is to show what I can produce or what I can give to them. I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm doing, or I know the whole meaning behind it, but I know I'm going to try my best because I know that that's what's expected of me, and that's only fair. Like at that point, I was very grateful for the government and the military in general, because especially the Marine Corps, because it's like that's basically my daddy. It basically molded me into a man. So it's like I owe it like a lot, and I love my Marines too. So it's like I love this thing. Like I might not have the best days with it. Like it's like a marriage. It's like I might not have the best days, but I owe it to them to be good, the best version of myself, to make that standard.
Yeah,
So it was
100%.
good. Like yeah, like I had a really good time for sure. I fit in fine. Like my higher ups liked me. Everybody liked me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, can you tell me about some memorable moments on these deployments?
Let's see. Well, one moment where I almost shit myself, dude, was probably when we were in the Straits in Iran. So there's like a strait. We had to stand outside the ship for security because the Iran people, the military, they would always like harass our ships. And like I said, I almost shit myself because the ship was coming really close. Like, because I was like on this side and the ship was on this side. And as the ship's coming this way, I can start seeing the Irani soldiers like closer and closer. And I'm like, bro, like I already have live rounds. They told us like to fire on them if they get too closer to a certain distance, but they're going to let us know when. So we're over here waiting, and we're just waiting to like shoot them. And they're coming closer and closer, and the ship is telling them on the radio, they're like, you better stay away, basically giving warning signals, like ship, stand clear of this and this and this. And they're not listening. They don't care. They're like trying to tease to see what happens. And
Yep.
then I remember I got scared because I seen like a Harrier come out of nowhere, like from my side. I didn't hear it at all. I just seen it just whoom. As soon as the ship saw the Harrier come, he just kind of went that way, and I was just like, oh my gosh, we literally almost got in a firefight with another ship. It would have been crazy, bro. So I
Yeah,
almost shit myself because I was like, damn,
shit's real.
this
All
happens.
right. Is there any other ports that you stopped in? Doesn't have to be combat ports. Any other ports that you
Yeah.
got to experience different countries?
Singapore, Indonesia, Dubai, Sri Lanka, Djibouti, Africa, Guam, Hawaii, Oman, Duqm,
Yep.
and then the other two countries, Syria and Yemen. And then that's pretty much it. It was a different lifestyle. I got to go on all the countries. Djibouti, Africa, that was a training course. Man, that was bad, bro.
Yeah, because
So
that's where the French Foreign Legion are based. They've got a base in Djibouti in Africa. One of my friends actually trained there. He was in the Legion.
no way.
Yeah.
Pretty cool guys, right?
Oh yeah, hard guys, man. Very hard guys.
Seriously. Yeah, I know I met some of them too. I'm like, damn. Yeah, they're hard dudes. But
So,
yeah, that
no, you
port
go.
was crazy, bro, because so we were on ship already for 40 days, and the company commander thought it was a good idea to go immediate into a hike. So we go into a hike, and the doc tells him, he's like, bro, you just had your dudes in a ship, AC, everything, no hikes, nothing, for like 40 plus days in AC, and you're about to send them into Africa with a full pack, all this stuff, and they're going to hike. And I remember the staff in O, they got in an argument because we were hiking, and some dude almost died, like his brain almost melted. And they were angry at each other. They're like, what the fuck? We told you not to do that. You shouldn't have done that, this and this. And they were bickering at each other. I'm like, damn, the higher ups really do get into it like that too. I thought it was just the lower enlisted, but no, the higher ups literally get in their faces like that, like with each other.
Oh, I'm sure they do. It's just not done in a public setting, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's in their tent, but I'm like,
Yeah.
oh damn. It's like mom and dad is arguing. They're like mad. But you don't get involved though,
Oh shit, yeah. But it's crazy, man. That like I've never been to Africa, but like it's pretty hot in Darwin, especially with the humidity. And you get people that come from these colder countries from the winter. We get a lot of backpackers from Germany and Switzerland and Norway, and they come and even with the ambulance service, we pick up a lot of these guys that go walking on our trails, especially if they come in the wet season when it's hot. The heat exhaustion and the heat stroke that they get is just crazy.
It's super bad, bro. Like in Darwin, I've never been exposed to anything like that. Even in the continental US, like there's no humidity like that. You just walk outside and you're wet. It's wild,
Yep.
bro. I don't know how you guys do it.
You get used to it.
Especially like in the bush too. Like how do you guys change from like different areas? Like the bush is one place and then like Darwin is like tropical, but then the bush is like desert. And I'm like, what the heck? Like that's crazy. That's why you guys live in the coasts, right? That's the main reason, because it's uninhabitable, right?
Oh, look, you can have it. There's places inside like Alice Springs and that. It's not nice though. I'm not going to say it's not nice. Alice Springs is a nice place, but yeah, I like to be around the water. I know we can't swim here, but you still get the ocean breeze. You still get to hang by the water. You still put a fishing boat in. You can go fishing.
Mm.
People do water skiing and stuff here. There's dams and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know how I'd go living in the middle of Australia.
Same.
No, not for me. All right. So this Mew, you said about 9 months.
Yeah. And then the countries I've been to. Oh, another one. Probably Singapore. That one was a whole movie, bro. Because it was like, that was the only time that like me and my friends, we'd get off the ship. Because we've been stuck in a ship the whole time. And we were finally allowed to drink. And we go to Singapore. And it was wild, bro. Because like the second day, like we just had a party the day before. The first day they were there. And then the second day, my friend, he wakes me up. Because we have curtains in our racks. So we have no room. So they just open our curtain. And he's like, whoosh. He's like, get up, bitch. I was like, for what? He's like, we got to go drink. I was like, we just finished drinking, though. And he's like, yeah, bro, it's 9 a.m. and we're drinking and eating noodles at 10 a.m. at Singapore. And my other friend's like blacked out drunk at 12 p.m. I'm like, what the heck? It's still the afternoon.
Singapore's nice, though, if you haven't been to Singapore. I've been to Singapore a few times.
There's a big nightlife there. It is very nice.
Shit, yeah. All right. So once you finish from this Mew, you got back. How long had you been in the Marines?
So after the Mew, that was already year 3. And after that, come back. It was a lot different this time because, like I said, there's other people that are like offloading stuff and doing all the work and stuff. It was bittersweet, to be honest, because I knew that I was going to probably get out. But I was at a crossroads, too, because I kind of wanted to be a combat instructor and re-enlist. So it was kind of like, it was bittersweet because it's like, you're on your last year, so you're either going to stay in with the organization or you're going to go off with your friends and your friends are going to go do their own thing and you guys are going to separate. So it's coming. What's coming. It's like, you're going to break up, but it's just like, you're just kind of waiting for it now, but what's going to happen. Got back and then it was cool. I saw my family again. It was nice to see them again. And I was like, all right, what happens next? Like with my career. So I was debating. I was like, all right, if I get out, do I want to be a police officer or do I want to re-enlist and be a combat instructor? Like, I'm going to leave it up to ear, like, to see what happens. Let me get promoted first. I have not got promoted to corporal yet at that time. But then I finally get promoted. And then I'm like, okay, now I have the rank to be a combat instructor if I want to. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait till I think it was like 2 months after my promotion to see if the time would work. So then, long story short, I get a really good deal with LAPD. And I do their whole process. I pass everything. And I make it to the pre-screener before the academy, so the physical part. And then I found out, bro, I had a revelation at that point because they told me that I was colorblind. So
oh, really?
Yeah, so they said that I couldn't be a police officer because I'm colorblind. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, damn, I passed all this shit like that nobody else passes, but I'm like,
really?
Right.
Just for being colorblind?
Yeah, it's a California post standard. It's a regulation for the state.
Wow.
So it's like everything. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like even my recruiter, like he was upset because I passed everything, and he's just like, "What the fuck? Like this is stupid." But it's just some law that they made in like the 40s. If my eyes were fine, like I would have been good. But it was just color. That was the only reason.
Oh man,
so I got
disappointing.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I can't be a cop. So I was starting to lean more towards the combat instructor route. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it one more try, and I'm gonna try out for sheriffs. Maybe it's different. At that time, I didn't know that it's the whole mandate for the state, like post standards. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the sheriff's. I do the same thing, pass everything again, once again. And I get to the same thing, and it's the same thing, color blindness. And I'm like, Bro, seriously, even the sheriffs are LAPD. I'm like, damn, then I can't be a cop.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bummer for sure. Like even the doctor was like upset because he's like, bro, that's the only thing. You're perfectly fine medically. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. So then I was leaning more towards the common instructor route. And when I was thinking about that at the time, I was going through a breakup, and then I met one girl, and I ended up getting married with this girl, and she kind of talked me out of not gonna be a combat instructor because she wanted us to be outside. So I kind of listened. I was stupid and dumb, and I was like, all right, I guess I won't stay in. And I just got out and I just went to school. I started going to school.
Nice. So what are you studying at the moment?
Right now, I am doing my last year of psychology. I'm using it as a catalyst to go to a law school.
Nice.
I'm gonna be a lawyer.
Very cool, man. Very cool. It's funny how life turns out.
Yep. Didn't think I'd go there.
So can we talk a little bit about your transition out of the military and how that
Sure.
was for you?
Sure.
So when you made the decision to leave, talk to me about that.
So when I made the decision to leave was when I got in deep with that person that I was connected with. I knew I wanted to be a combat instructor, but then again, I also knew that I needed to look for more stuff outside of the military. It may be love, family, whatever it might be. So I made a call and I decided to, bet on this person instead of do that. So I got out and then I started working. And that first year, bro, like when I got out, it was just rough because I couldn't really talk to people like the same way. Like when I go to my regular civilian work, I'll talk to people, but like dark humor, like they'll look at it like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, dude, you're crazy. So I'm just like, at one point I disassociated and I just stopped talking to a lot of people just because I didn't want to come off like a freak. So it's just like, I'm just going to stick to myself and just not talk to you, like, because I don't want to come off that way. Because I thought people were really judgmental, and I thought people were like, honestly, more conniving or like deceitful out here. Like, I feel like you can leave your sandwich or like you can leave your wallet at your buddy's room or in the barracks somewhere, and no one's going to do anything to it. No one's going to steal it, like I wouldn't steal. But it's like out here, it's not like that. Like people are like, deceitful, and they'll take stuff from you. Like there's no like connection with anybody. It's everybody out for themselves.
Yeah.
So you can't. Yeah. So that's what I think I had the hardest time with. So with the person that I was involved with, we connected very well, and I felt like I had like somebody in common because she was also a service member too. Yep. So we spoke the same language basically, and she kind of like helped me when I was out here.
Yeah.
But it was rough for sure, dude.
Yeah, that's hard. Like I hear it from so many veterans. Like you come out of a place where you've been involved with, for generally a minimum of 4 years. Most of the MOSs, even in Australia, and you're a part of an industry or a workplace that has so much structure. You know where you fit in. You know what your rank is. You know what your responsibilities are. You're around generally people, even if they don't start that way, they end up to be very like-minded people in the way they talk and the way they think, because you all, receive this same training. And then you come out to the civilian world, and, this is common for, even police officers and ambulance people and things like that. And you come out to the civilian world and no one understands you. There's everyone for themselves. There's no rank. There's no structure. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and, it's hard to assimilate to that once you've been a part of, you're really institutionalized for so long, and then you come out and you've got all these freedoms and people speak their mind, and, there's almost that lack of respect as well.
You're not used to it for sure. No. I can relate to that for sure. Like I can see eye to eye with like because a lot of my friends are police officers, paramedics and stuff. So it's like I can see eye to eye with them. Like I'll talk to them and I'll hang out with them on my off time. But it's like anybody else, like if I meet somebody at school, like a kid at school, it's like it's not the same thing. And it's not because it's like I'm better than them, because I'm not. I'm very humble. Like we're all the same here. But it's just like I just can't feel like I can connect with a lot of stuff with them. Like my cop friend might say something really dark that he did. Like he told me the other day that his girlfriend judged him because he was watching some dude OD. And he's like, yeah, I just watched him OD right there on the floor, and I just looked at him and I couldn't do anything, so I just went to go get help. But I just watched him like, oh, and I was just like, bro, that's dark.
Yeah.
But we talk about stuff like that normal.
Yeah, people outside this industry and, these kind of work that we do as first responders and military, they just can't, they just don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%.
But it's a way, it doesn't come from a bad place. It comes from a place to help us deal with these things that we see and that we hear. It helps us process it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, exactly. That's exactly how you do it, and you do it with your brothers.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Those
always done
bonds,
it
like
in the right
you
context
guys
with the
can't go
right
back.
people.
It's kind of like it's
100%.
weird, bro. Like I think that's probably the main thing that I miss the most. I don't miss the Marine Corps. I miss my friends. Like I had a great time in the organization, but I just really miss my friends. And I like it when I see people like out here. Like it's a rarity, but when I see like paramedics or first responders that I can talk to, I'm like, oh, like even when you look at their eye, like you can just tell like, oh, what's up, man? Like,
Yeah,
you guys
you
have
get
the same.
it.
Yeah, you understand. It's kind of like, have you seen the Joker?
Yes.
It's like you wouldn't get it. It's like that type
Yep.
of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it is. It 100% is. And it's hard to put into words that people that are not in these industries for them to understand. Like looking from a civilian perspective or someone that hasn't done these jobs into it, you're looking this up thinking we're arrogant or we're a little bit messed up. And hey, we probably are all a little bit messed up. Let's face it, man. But it doesn't come from a bad place. It helps us process,
Yeah, for sure.
and take the emotion out of it. So you're at uni, you're doing your psychology, and you're moving that to become a lawyer. So how long
Yeah.
have you got to go with your psychology degree?
So I'm done after fall 2024. And
Yep.
then spring 2025, I will transfer to law school. I'm at a crossroads because if I buy my first house, I'm thinking about going to law school in Laverne. If I do not buy, I'm going to go back to San Diego and go to law school down there.
Yep.
And if I'm feeling very adventurous, I might actually go to Harvard. It's an Ivy League school, and it's like a
Yep.
really, really big school.
Yep. I know the
For
one.
law school.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And did you find your GI Bill helped out a lot with this that you
Yes.
got through the
So,
Marines? So can you
yeah.
explain to people that are not from America what a GI Bill is?
Yeah, so the GI Bill is basically they give you full tuition, they give you housing allowance, so like for you to sustain yourself. So like if you're living in a certain county in your state, that's how much they'll give you. So if rent is typically like $3,000 in this county, it's like super expensive. They'll give you that amount plus some for you to live, like gas and stuff like that. And they'll pay for your tuition, they'll pay for your supplies, and you get those three checks for 4 years, basically to get your bachelor's, your undergraduate studies. But what I did is, if you're disabled, if you're a disabled veteran here, you can apply for Chapter 31, which is basically an extension of those GI Bill benefits. So right now I'm actually using those disability benefits to pay for my school, which is a GI Bill but just extended, just so I
Yep.
can make it last longer. So this whole year is just my Chapter 31 benefits, which is the same money, the three checks, and then after that it's my GI Bill for law school. And they will match whatever school you go to. It doesn't matter what school you go to. And if it's a more
Wow.
expensive school like Harvard and stuff, they will match it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's from the government for your service in the United States Marines.
Yep. The way I see it, I know they're giving us like a gift because it is a gift, and I'm grateful for it. But the way I see it, especially getting out, I feel like the government still is basically like incentivizing or investing into their troops to continue to give service at a greater, level outside when they get out. So like when I'm a lawyer, I'm still providing service, just a different type of service. It's a little bit higher. Like I had to go to school and stuff to do
Yeah,
it.
correct. And you did once you got out of the Marines after that 4 years, you didn't quite get out. You were a reservist for quite a few years as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I stayed in the IR and then I stayed in an actual reserve unit for the last year. I actually just got out in April.
Yep.
Yeah. So I
So
made a
only
good
very recently out.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been in for a minute. But it was fun.
Amen. And can you talk to me about some advice for people that are thinking about joining the Marines or thinking about whether it's the Army, Defence Force? Can you give them some tips and things that they can expect or how they can prepare?
Expect that you are going to have to change yourself and you're going to have to be okay with swallowing that pill with changing yourself. And if it's not something that you're okay with doing, so be a chameleon. If you're not okay with assimilating or blending in or doing the thing that you have to do without questioning like yourself, like if it's not going to make you question yourself or your morals, um, I think that's probably the best thing to do is just understand that fact is that you have to learn to be a chameleon and assimilate to what it is that you're asked of. That's one thing for sure. A lot of people struggle with it because they're like, no, I would never do that, or I would never treat someone like that, but you have to do that because that's what's being asked of you. So there's no choice. And if you don't do it, it's just going to be bad for you. So mostly that. Just accept that fact. And then to prepare, just prepare being open. Don't be so closed-minded about it, like about things in general. Understand that it's okay to be quiet and just observe a lot of the times. You don't have to be the most aggressive or, I guess, bitter person or like come off that way. But you really can get a lot in there. You can get far based on how you carry yourself and how you look. So if you're physically fit and you carry yourself well among people, service members, higher ups, you'll get really far. So that's for sure the two easiest things that I can recommend.
Perfect. And if you don't mind, can we touch on a little bit on resilience? And you've spent a lot of time in the Marines, and you've the upbringing that you've had. You said you lived in a low socioeconomic area. What's some of the things that you do to keep yourself in check to stay so resilient and so positive?
I think honestly, what I keep doing is I know that my time on Earth is limited. I know that I'm here to fulfill a purpose. For people that might not believe in God, or they do, regardless, we're all here for a purpose, whether you believe in God or not. So I think what keeps me going is that if He has not took me out of the game yet, or somebody has not, expired, it means you're still here to fulfill a purpose. So keep giving it the most that you can, because you're here for a reason. You have to do something bigger for yourself. I mean, it could be anything. You can, I don't know, you can start a podcast. That's your purpose. You can do anything, literally. But every day that we get, it's just another gift for that, to fulfill what purpose you're supposed to be fulfilling. That's what I think, and that's what I think helps me keep going, is just knowing that there's something bigger out there that I have to do, or I have to talk to more people, or do more things, or help more people, or do stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, we're only here for each other. Like, we're only here to help each other, because we're all in this together, and no one's getting out of this alive.
Exactly right, man. That's very well said. I've never heard someone say it quite so elegantly.
Well, yeah, we gotta. What was the quote? Some of us we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. That's exactly the only way to do it. Because we're all in the gutter.
Man. Exactly right, man. Exactly right. Dude, I've really, really enjoyed talking with you today. It's it's been too long between chats, been too long since we actually seen each other. I really enjoyed having you on, man. Thank you very much for sharing your story, and I hope it helps inspire other people.
Likewise, brother. Thank you for having me. I like talking about it from down under. That's how you guys say, right?
Exactly right.
Down
exactly
under.
Right. Well, Manny, thank you very much for coming on the podcast, mate. Hopefully we'll see you again on it when you're a lawyer. Thanks, brother.
Man. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you for tuning into the Priority Zero podcast. We greatly appreciate your dedicated listenership. If you are interested in being featured as a guest on our show, we welcome you to reach out to us through our official channels on Facebook or Instagram. Alternatively, you can contact us via email at contact@priorityzero.com.au. We value your support in helping us spread these compelling stories to a wider audience. Kindly consider liking and sharing these episodes, as it plays a crucial role in our mission to reach as many people as possible.